Hello everyone, and welcome to the OMindfulness online guided meditation. Thank you for being here. We're here to support each other in our formal mindfulness practice. So we know mindfulness is good for us, and sometimes it's hard to keep up a regular meditation practice. So we're here to remind ourselves and to meet up online. So mindfulness is about being in the moment, being here kindly. And it takes a little bit of practice. We naturally have a mind that races off into the future and dwells on the past and is not very good at being in the present moment. So with a little training, we can be here more often, and it's good for our mood and it's good for our bodies and our health. Today, I'm going to guide us in a 10-minute mindfulness of the breath meditation, followed by a few words on presence. And it makes sense that presence is a state that emerges by being present. And I'll ask you in this meditation to notice when that arises. And so by being particularly careful about noticing the breath, noticing the body, noticing the senses, we end up in a state of presence. So the act of paying attention will create a state of presence. And I'll just ask you to notice that. It's something which then informs the rest of our practice, and it can almost feel like another sense, a sort of an awareness, like sight or hearing. It's another way of perceiving the now. So sitting in a dignified posture helps, but it's not imperative. And when you're ready, closing your eyes for 10 minutes, mindfulness of the breath. Allowing ourselves to enter into the present moment. It's something that's quite natural for us to do. So in a way, we'll get out of our own way and permit this present moment experience. And one of the best ways of coming into the now is by coming into the body. Feeling ourselves sitting, connecting with our senses, experiencing the touch, the contact, the pressure. The warmer parts, the tingling parts, the numb parts. Feeling the body. Knowing you're here because you can feel yourself here. And being with whatever you find. And once we have landed, more or less, in the body, in the now, No matter if the mind goes off and does other things, we can still be here. We can still come back to the body, to the moment. And then we might like to notice physical sensations of breathing. And there may be one place where you notice the breath most easily. Where is that? And how does it feel? And can you be present through those physical sensations? Whether it's the stretch of the in-breath, whether it's contact with clothes as the breath recedes, whether it's air passing in the nostrils, cooler sometimes, warmer sometimes. Wherever you feel the movement of the breath, can be your focus, your opportunity to be present by noticing those physical sensations, by paying close and careful attention. And maybe there's more subtle detail available as we observe. Just noticing where the mind goes and bringing it back to this breath and the sensation of this particular flow, pause, rise or fall. And does this careful attention make you present and generate a state of presence? And can this presence expand into the rest of the body? and put you in touch with your limbs, your torso, your head. And can you be filled with a sense of presence? And thus in touch with the whole body, sitting and breathing. And whenever we get lost, we can come back to the breath, to the place where for you the breath is most apparent. And it's here we can reconnect with the moment and be present and rekindle this state of presence. Sitting patiently observing, having the discipline to bring the mind back. And noticing the detail in the movement of the breath, and noticing how it feels to experience presence. And then following the breath, being aware of the inhalation all the way in, and the exhalation all the way out. Being here in each moment and all the moments in between. And just a few more breaths in mindful awareness, present to ourselves and to the moment. Open our eyes when we're ready. And we're aware of that transition too. Maybe having a little yawn or a stretch. So presence is something that we can feel in ourselves. We can be aware of it in other people. And if we are in that state of presence, it can help those around us to notice when they are in that state too. It's a kind of useful thing to mirror. And in the Women's Network these few weeks, they're posting texts and articles on the subject of presence. And we're reminded that really there's so much to notice and there's so much to be gained from being here and not spending all our time worrying about the future, reminiscing on the past, making up stories in our heads. When we're really here, there are gifts amongst the ordinary activities of the day. Just as I was preparing to broadcast, I was at my desk and I realized that I could hear the washing machine, and there I was coming into a present moment, and that spinning really sounded like a comforting hum, and it reminded me of comforting childhood times, and there was a nice feeling of the washing will be ready to hang out soon. So there are gifts in being present. There might be an uplifting feeling of the smell of the coffee before a difficult business meeting, or at the moment here it's really, really hot, and getting into a boiling car is a bit of a challenge, but then gradually the air conditioning kicks in and there's that feeling of wow, isn't that a relief after the heat. So just the mundane becomes full of gifts, and when we're really in our senses, then there are certain things that we notice. There is the extraordinary amongst the ordinary. When we have the eyes to see the play of light on the road, or we have the nerve endings to feel that special texture of the skin of an apricot, which is something between suede and silk. So there's lots to be had, and we know all this intellectually, but how do we really feel it? And it's through mindfulness practice. By sitting and meditating formally, regularly, just as we have done, and paying attention to the breath, feeling the detail, coming into our senses, this oozes out into the rest of our day. And so we are more present more often, and we do experience the extraordinary amongst the ordinary. And just the taste of a simple sandwich is a revelation. So we don't necessarily need all those food programs on wonderful cuisine. It's wonderful to have great cuisine, but really when we're actually there, something, a simple snack can be really a huge pleasure. So I wish you a week of presence, and be there as often as you can, practice formally if you can get around to that, and check out my Facebook page. I've just posted that the yurt is up in the garden by the river, so you can come and stay, and that is extraordinary. So I'll see you soon. Check out the Women's Network for articles on presence and my Facebook page, and I have retreats happening here in the south of France. That's on the OMindfulness.com website. See you very soon for another shared meditation. Thank you for being here.